For Sadiq Khan, the most terrible apprehensions didn't appear. His record third mayoral triumph came after the danger of a conservative flood in suburbia just dissipated. Mr. Khan's triumphant edge was 275,000 votes, and his 44% offer equaled what he accomplished in 2016. However, there was harshness in his triumph discourse, denouncing the constant cynicism of his conservative rival. The mission seems to have incurred significant damage. 054. Watch. Sadiq Khan calls third term as London City Hall leader distinction of my life. In a challenge censured by some London media as dreary and without energy, Mr. Khan's security-first methodology won. His commitment of a more secure, more pleasant and greener capital drew out his own allies and furthermore hopes to have prevailed with regards to convincing Green and liberal leftist electors to loan their help to him in the mayoralty while deciding in favor of their normal decisions for the London gathering. This was apparent in southwest London, where the Lib Dems won their very first voting public gathering seat, yet Mr. Khan easily outsurveyed Ms. Corridor. Chart showing the city chairman of London triumph for Sadiq Khan. There was help in the work camp after a mission where it didn't show up simple for Mr. Khan to guard his record. Official figures distributed 7 days from surveying day showed Blade wrongdoing offenses in the capital up 20% somewhat recently. More than 8 years the increment was more prominent still. Then, at that point, 48 hours prior to surveying day, there was far-reaching shock and repugnance at the demise of 14-year-old Daniel Angerin, killed in a Blade assault in Hainaut. Some figured it could affect the political decision. London mayoral races 2024. How does the City Hall leader respond? Live. Response as Sadiq Khan secures noteworthy triumph. Among different vows, Mr. Khan offered a new obligation to fabricate 40,000 new committee homes before the decade's over. Note, not the finish of the following 4-year mayoral term. There was a major sticker price connected to his focal retail offer. The public authority as of now finances free school snacks for most of elementary school understudies, yet Mr. Khan's augmentation of this to 7 to 11 year olds not as of now entitled for the following 4 years will cost above and beyond £1 billion. Dad Media Sadiq Khan during a visit to a school in Stirrup Newington with Ed Miliband PA Media. Sadiq Khan's promise to proceed with free school snacks for more established elementary younger students for 4 additional years will cost more than £500 million. He likewise chose to freeze many vehicle charges this year, however with no assurance past that. Electors clearly dismissed his rival's endeavors to introduce this as a flippant pre-political race trick. Mr. Khan's triumph shows he effectively explored the greatest contention of his mayoralty up to this point, charging the drivers of contaminating vehicles through the extended ultra-low emanation zone, ULEZ, to cover all of the London precincts. In the counter-ULEZ heartland of Bexley and Bromley, Ms. Lobby's endeavour to make strides were impeded by almost 10,000 votes won by Change UK's Howard Cox. A year prior, the city chairman distributed a book proclaiming his emphasis on the climate and tidying up London's air. Going to last year's UN Environment Gathering in New York, he professed to be teaching individuals and taking them with him on the excursion to net zero fossil fuel byproducts by 2030. Dad Media ULEZ sign in London PA Media. Beforehand, Sadiq Khan referred to the ULEZ extension as important and viable for London. It looked then as though handling gridlock, air quality, and environmental change could shape the focal point of an extreme vision of a third term. That appeared obviously to be what he had trusted would be his inheritance. Then, at that point, the brakes were applied after the sensational loss of political capital he had encountered over the ULEZ extension. That was something his own free specialists exhorted wouldn't move the dial regarding further developing air quality, and it angered segments of external London and prompted Work's inability to win the Uxbridge and South Ruislip by political race last July. That misfortune was not rehashed when Londoners were approached to pick this time. Ecological gatherings proclaimed Mr. Khan's success as a triumph for clean air. Notwithstanding, he may now be hamstrung by the restricted vows he wound up making. In his book, he discussed chasing after another arrangement of street client charging, which would consider the distance, time, and discharges of excursions. Dad media Sadiq Khan plays label football at a school during the overall political race campaign PA media. Sadiq Khan won 9 of the 14 voting demographics, including 2 increases from the Conservatives. Under weighty fire from his Conservative rival, guaranteeing he had secret designs for a paper mile hit on the driver, he paddled back strongly. He told Transport for London, TfL, to shut down all work on it and was constrained unequivocally to preclude it in his pronouncement. At firmly controlled occasions on his battlefield, he was joined by unmistakable individuals from the Shadow Bureau, including Rachel Reeves and Yvette Cooper. Energy representative and previous work pioneer Ed Miliband was conveyed to go after the Conservative up-and-comer over environmental change, while troubled agent pioneer Angela Rayner joined Sadiq Khan to send off his pronouncement. It established the possibility of future organization and backing, yet there was quite no vow of additional cash, supplications for which have been a common element of Sadiq Khan's mayoralty up to this point. Vital to Sadiq Khan's mission was a case there was a snapshot of Greatest Open Door, where Londoners could before long have a work city chairman and work government working couple. The main stage has now occurred. Dad Media City Chairman of London Sadiq Khan with Work Party representative pioneer Angela Rayner, following a strategy declaration during his discourse at the Plan Locale in Greenwich, PA media. City Chairman of London Sadiq Khan with Work Party representative pioneer Angela Rayner, following a strategy declaration during his discourse at the Plan Locale in Greenwich. Clearly loosened up about the surveying signals and the shortcoming of his moderate rival, he ran a cautious mission. Quick to stay away from the smallest possibility experiencing dissent or aggression in the city, over the full a month and a half Mr. Khan had no unconstrained or impromptu collaboration with individuals from the public saw by the media. Towards the end there were indications of apprehension the security-first system might have misfired by neglecting to empower work allies. There were further indications of tenseness when, with days to go, he was sorry to the main rabbi for a meeting given to a US-based writer, in which he guaranteed he was dealt with uniquely in contrast to Andy Burnham over their position on a truce since he was Muslim. Mr. Khan is intimately acquainted with his conservative adversary Ms. Corridor, having conflicted consistently with the London get-together part at City Lobby throughout the course of recent years.